Today's big question: why is beckoning with your finger like this normal in the USA, but insulting in the Philippines? I'm your guide to the galaxy, and today we're answering habits. The habit that we're talking about today has caused countless arguments between girlfriends and boyfriends, confusion when ordering food at a restaurant, and even gotten people fired from their jobs. So it's important that you know where you are before you do it. And no, I'm not talking about the handshake. That one is obvious. I'm talking about this. Now, if you're from the Philippines or any other country where they don't really do this, then you know that this can be offensive. But why? Let's go back in history for some perspective. In the 1800s, Europe was the place to be if you were a wealthy American. They had amazing things over there like indoor plumbing, paved roads, and an entire continent of people who didn't speak English. It was so popular that Americans began mimicking the Europeans by adding this sweeping core motion to their already existing beckoning method. Basically, they took something that was common in Europe, added a little spin to it, and made it their own. Kind of like when Filipinos do this when they're calling someone over. Notice the sweeping motion. It's similar, but the context is completely different. In the Philippines, this hand gesture is used to call someone over, but in a more familiar way, kind of like if you were calling over your sibling or someone younger than you. You might use this hand gesture in the Philippines. For someone older or someone that you respect, you would never use this otherwise. It would be very rude. The problem is, most Americans don't know this, and they use this hand gesture all the time with everyone. Here's a quick story about this. It was 3:30 in the morning, and I was drunk. I remember stumbling out of the bar, hailed a cab, and told him to take me home. On the way, my phone started ringing. I told the driver to pull over so I could answer it. And when I turned around, he had this confused look on his face. I asked him what was wrong, and he said, "You want me to drive, or you want me to wait?" I was taken aback by his choice of words, and I responded, "I want you to wait." He looked at me for a second, and then he said, "No, seriously, do you want me to drive, or do you want me to wait?" At this point, I realized that he thought that I was beckoning for another cab because he didn't know that I was just answering a phone call. To prove it to him, I showed him the phone, and then he apologized, and we were on our way. This whole situation could have been avoided if I just knew his cultural norms. This is also why it's important for you to know these cultural differences, because otherwise you might get into an argument with someone who thinks that you being rude. So next time you're in the Philippines and you need someone to come over, just use this hand gesture instead. Just don't use it with strangers. Unless you want them to come a little closer, then this is perfect. If you learned something new today, please hit the like button below so I can keep making videos like this. If you're from the Philippines, please leave a comment down below about other American habits that we should know about. I'm the host, your guide to the galaxy, and I'll see you next time.